this has got to be one of the most debatable launches in Samsung history. One, because it's the Galaxy S25 Ultra, king of the Androids. Oh my god. And two, what exactly has changed, if I may ask? But that's what I'm here for. This is Rupesh, you're watching Sillycorns, and let's jump to the epicenter of all the heated arguments, the design. Well, some like the Edge, others hate the new edges. Meanwhile, Samsung launched the Edge. Wait, that's a different phone. Look, first of all, I think it's high time we move on from the whole sharp edges versus rounded design debate. It is what it is. Yes, the note-like design with all the curves is gone now. The screen, the titanium frame, it's all flat with rounded corners, and the whole design is overall softer on the hands. The camera rings have the Z Fold 6-like design, and the best part about the Galaxy S25 Ultra is it's slimmer and lighter. I mean, that is something you immediately feel coming from an older Ultra. There's also Gorilla Armor 2 on both the front and the back, so a lot tougher now for the kids to break. And lastly, the screen is 0.1 inch bigger thanks to the slimmer bezels. It also remains IP68 rated. The stereo speakers are awesome, all solid. And that brings me how the S25 Ultra is more of a mature upgrade to the S24 Ultra. Basically, what was good, they just made it better. And the screen remains the same as you can see from the specs, and that's not a bad thing because this is a fantastic display, be it in terms of colors, brightness, everything. There is a new Pro Scaler tech from Samsung TVs to enhance and upscale photos and videos using AI, and you don't have to do anything. It's supposed to work when the display is set to QHD+. Also, everyone loved the anti-reflective coating on the S24 Ultra, so they made it better. It's the second gen version now, said to be slightly better, and yep, this actually does a good job. Now, the camera actually has a lot of changes that weren't so obvious in the Samsung event. I mean, these are the specs, and yes, you do get a new 50 megapixel ultra wide angle sensor, but it's these new camera tricks that actually caught my eye. This one. I mean, there's 10-bit HDR support in videos, you can record in log, Expert RAW supports 200 megapixels now, and there's more ND filter effects, but here's something I really like. So now when you're recording a video, there's an option to zoom in smoothly, kind of like those camcorders millennials would know. The single take feature also gets an upgrade. You can now set it to pre-record 5 seconds, so if you're late to click on the capture button, you still might have got it. It's pretty handy for parents. You also get this virtual aperture now, which lets you adjust the bokeh in real time. There's also the best face feature, which lets you swap faces in group photos like this. Look these features apart. The ultra-wide shots are sharper, more detailed, and not just in daytime, even in low light. Even the macros look really good. And in terms of videos, it now supports 8K 30fps recording, which you'll probably not use, but just for that flex, it's great. Samsung also talked about bringing nitography to videos. So low light videos are supposed to be sharper, have reduced noise, and we tested things, and the Galaxy S25 Ultra is way better in terms of noise handling, details, everything. Apart from this, I've been taking a lot of photos from the main camera, the telephoto lens, and all the photos look very high-end, taken from a flagship phone. I mean, there's good details every single time, colors look good, and the exposure is mostly on point. I mean, these shots look good, right? And you know what? A special mention to the portrait mode shots because the Galaxy S25 Ultra seems to be better in terms of handling skin tones, and the blur also seems more natural now. Moving on, let's talk about AI. I mean, the Galaxy S24 Ultra brought the whole AI phones movement, and this takes it one step forward. And my favorite feature has to be the new Now Brief feature. So Now Brief has a widget, it shows up in the Now bar in the lock screen, and this brings you different info depending on the time of the day. So in the morning, it shows you the weather on the day, a playlist to start your morning, any calendar events. In the night, it shows you alarms, the next day's events and weather, mindfulness features before you go to bed, your activity in the day. It even shows you briefs in the evening and in the afternoon. And I think this will get more personalized as we go because as you can see, it should show you your tasks, traffic updates, news, and more. What's also cool is that this works on device, and not just this, a lot of Galaxy AI features now work on device, including the new audio eraser, which is great. I mean, this lets you cut down different noises and it does a good job. There's also AI Select, which depending on your usage over time shows you different options. I mean, you can copy a picture, make a GIF by recording a small part of that video, fill it to a bigger picture using AI, turn it into a watercolor, oil painting, you name it. There's also a new sticker generator in the Samsung keyboard app that is pretty cool. There's also Gemini, which now wakes up via the power button. It also works across Google apps, Samsung apps, and WhatsApp and Spotify. So you can ask it to search for ATMs nearby and send the list directly to a contact, and it just works. You can add the next matches of India to the calendar easily. And what's cool is that all of this also works in Hindi. In fact, you can even use Gemini to change the settings in your phone like this. Circle to search is also better now. It's got this sound recognition feature that works everywhere, reels, shots, anywhere. Yeah, way easier to find out that viral reel song. Next up, the performance of the Galaxy S25 Ultra has the new powerful Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy with fast RAM and storage. It even has a 40% larger vapor chamber, which is great. should handle the heat better. And in terms of benchmarks, I like how it almost hits 10K in multi-core and Geekbench. Now in Antutu, the scores aren't the best and the stability in 3D Mark is also decent-ish, but yeah, it does not look like Samsung is limiting the performance here. Benchmarks about the Galaxy S25 Ultra is obviously a solid performer. I mean, this is running One UI 7 and this has a promise of 7 years of OS updates and 7 years of security patches. And One UI 7, as you all know, is a great update and it runs beautifully on this phone. And the new smooth animations look fantastic here. Features like Now Bar work perfectly. It even shows you cricket scores. And no matter what you put on this phone, be it multiple apps, multitasking, it handles it like a flagship should. Gaming is also great and the temperatures also seem fine. We tested Wuthering Waves on this on the best graphics and after around 40 minutes of gameplay, this was the temperature. I know winters, but even if you add some numbers to it, it seems fine for a flagship phone with top-end performance. We even tested some BGMI. I mean, BGMI supports 90 FPS max, which will probably be fixed with an update. But after 45 minutes of gameplay, this was the temperature here. So far, no concerns in terms of heating here. Now, there's one area where the Galaxy S25 Ultra kind of has a downgrade. See, the S Pen here has the usual features and works really well, but it does not have Bluetooth and that means no air actions. Basically, the different gestures are all gone. But what has really kind of irked people is the fact that you can no longer use the S Pen as a shutter button for the camera. I mean, it has a button and you can use it to open the Air Commands menu, you can use it to switch tools in the drawing app, but that's pretty much it. Now, if you're wondering about the battery life, yes, it's the same 5000 mAh battery here, but Samsung actually promises better battery life thanks to better optimization. I mean, the battery life here is good. 6 to 7 hours of screen on time is what I've been getting. Apart from that, charging speeds remain the same at 45 watts, but wireless charging is faster at 25 watts thanks to Qi2 support, but yeah, no magnetic charging. Look, overall, I think it's pretty clear the Galaxy S25 Ultra is not a radical upgrade, it's more of a refinement, a mature flagship phone. I mean, if I had to ask you, what's that one big negative in the S24 Ultra, or what's something that you really hate about in the S23 Ultra, I think at the top of the head, you wouldn't find anything solid because these are all great, all around, solid flagship phones, and the S25 Ultra kind of carries on that legacy. Look, the truth is this is still the most packed Android flagship out there. Yes, a more exciting design, maybe a silicon carbide battery, could have maybe spiced things up, but it is what it is, and this remains one of the most ultimate Android flagships you can get. Anyway, if you still have any more questions on the Galaxy S25 Ultra, make sure to comment below and I'll answer them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.